So here we are, engine disassembled. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see if we can put it back together, put rings in it, and see what the end result might be. First thing I'm going to do, I bought a hone today. I'm going to clean up the block and hone the cylinder. Before I do any honing, I did buy some new piston rings. For this engine, it's part number 493261. And I took the top ring and I set it in the cylinder, and I can tell already just looking at it, the gap is much smaller than my old rings. Now that I'm satisfied with that, let's try out my new hone. Here we go. I'm putting a little bit of penetrating oil in my cylinder. So I'm going to go with this and see if this will do the job. I can see a crosshatch in the cylinder. Hopefully this will work. So there's our engine and sump. Clean. I'm letting it dry in the sun, in the wind, which I have plenty of. That way it'll be good to go a little bit later. So now it's piston ring time. Piston, new rings. Here's our instructions. There's the oil ring. There's the center ring. And there's the top ring. Let's get them on. I put a little oil on the piston and we got all three rings in place. It's ready to go back in. Phase 1 is complete. We got the piston back in the cylinder. I did actually purchase a ring compressor. At first I didn't think it was going to work, but it actually did. So now, let's get the crankshaft back in. Alright, we got the connecting rod connected to the crankshaft. We got it torqued down to 100 inch-pounds. Put my timing gear back on, and I put back in the tappets, and I put oil on all these for its first start. Now let's get the camshaft. We've got the camshaft back in and the oil slinger. I've got my brand new gasket laid on there. I put a little bit of oil down in the bottom end of the sump. Let's see how easily it does or doesn't go back on. The sump is back on and torqued down. I'm going to reuse the old head gasket. It looks fine. We'll put the head back on. I turned the garden hose on this engine. After we got it all sealed up, I stuck a paper towel in the intake and put the oil dipstick and muffler back on and tried to clean that guy up. My plan is to put it on this Craftsman. It had this engine, but after I mowed with it and tested it, it sounds like it knocks. So I got a good deck with a bag here. We're going to mount it to this frame. The flywheel and the coil are back on. We're going to get the recoil. I'm going to steal the carburetor off of the engine that knocked and the gas tank. It won't be long and we'll hear what this sounds like. Still need to put oil in it too. We have the carburetor and air filter box and the rewind back on. And I just put oil in it. We'll put the cover on and give it a start. Okay, moment of truth. I pulled the rope a few times and splashed the oil around inside. Let's see what happens. Sounds good, but it feels like the blade's out of balance. Take two. The blade was balanced, but I think the blade adapter wasn't fitting quite right. I put on another one that fits better. So I'm sure you can hear the ice cream man down the street, but I'm going to wrap up this video here. I think the Craftsman will live on, thanks to the engine from the worn out Poulon and some new piston rings. Sounds pretty good. It's not blowing oil, burning oil like it did before, which is good. I'm definitely going to mow with this a few times, make sure all is well, and then maybe this will go on to someone else. Thanks for watching.